Okay, we are still about 5 minutes away from the pre-opening trades. The SGX Nifty is still sulking, giving us a mild red tick, but yesterday it got it all wrong. Yesterday the SGX Nifty started off in the green, but we started off in the red. So it absolutely moved in opposite directions, though ultimately the Indian markets found buys on dips, but only after a fairly big dip. Let's see how things pan out at this point in time. Actually, this will be a good time to look at how the decade gone by has panned out, or for that matter, how the year gone by has panned out. For the moment, we are recapping the year in our special series, Rewind 2020. We now have our colleague Nimesh joining in, and he has analysed how all the large conglomerates have done in 2020. Over to you, Nimesh.
We all know that 2020 has been a challenging year for the world at large. However, there are a few large business groups that saw opportunity in adversity and created wealth for shareholders. Let's look at the list. The first is the Bajaj Group. The Bajaj Group added close to 10% in market cap in 2020, and the overall group market cap is now inching close to the 6 lakh crores in 2020. Look at the Aditya Birla Group. That group added close to 18% in market cap, and the combined market cap of that group is now reached the 3 lakh crore threshold in 2020. Look at the Mahindra Group now. The Mahindra Group added close to 24% in market cap in 2020, and the overall combined market cap of that group is now over 2 lakh crores. Look at the Murugappa Group. That's been the third best performing group in 2020. The combined market cap of that group is gone up by 36%, and now it is inching close to the 1 lakh crore threshold in 2020. The big outperformance came in the Adani Group. That group has doubled the market cap in 2020. Now the combined market cap of that group is now 4 lakh crores as we speak in 2020. The next is the Tata Group. The Tata Group added close to 34% in market cap, but the bigger number is they've added close to 4 lakh crores in market cap in 2020, and the combined market cap of that group is now inching close to the 16 lakh crores. One caveat here, I'm not including Reliance Industries in the list, but even Reliance Industries added close to 3 lakh crores in market cap in 2020. So that's the kind of wealth most of the larger groups have created for the shareholders. Now, within the groups, look at the individual stocks which have done well. So look at the Tata Group now. Within the Tata Group, the two best performing stocks have been Tata Consumers and Tata Communications. Tata Consumer has rallied 175% this year, whereas Tata Communications has rallied close to 163% in 2020. Look at Adani Group now. Within Adani Group, the best performing stock has been Adani Green. That stock has rallied 500% in 2020. The other group stock, Adani Enterprise, that rallied close to 125% in 2020. Look at the Murugappa Group now. Within the Murugappa Group, the best performing stock is Tube Investments. That stock rallied 65% in 2020, and others like EID Parry and Coromandel International, they rallied more than 50%. Look at the Mahindra Group now. Within the Mahindra Group, we all know about M&M, which has done really well this year. That's up 33%. But the big outperformance in Mahindra Group came in Mahindra EPC. That stock rallied 52% in 2020. Within the Aditya Birla Group, Vodafone Idea was a big outperformer, though it's a small stock, but that stock rallied 73% in 2020. In the Godrej Group, we all talk about Godrej Properties, which is a flagship company. That did well with 40% rally, but the big outperformance in Godrej Group came in Aztec Life. That stock rallied 175% in 2020 and has been a big outperformer. So as I said in the beginning, 2020 was a challenging year for the world at large, but there are a few gems within the larger groups that did really well and rewarded the shareholders handsomely in 2020.
Okay, Nimesh, thank you for putting that interesting set of data in front of us. Let's get back to the theme that we've been discussing since morning, real estate. It looks like Mumbai has seen a lot of houses sold and bought in the month of December. Some records have been set. I believe it's a 103% rise over the previous month, that is over November. But how does it compare year on year? Have we normalized? Are we doing better than normal years? Gulam Zia, Executive Director at Knight Frank, joins us now. Good morning, Gulam. Thank you very much for taking our call. The data we have says that home sales registered in Mumbai rose by 103% over November. 18,854 registrations. How does it compare with year-ago levels?
Yeah, that's also very interesting to note that in spite of all our COVID doomsday forecasts, etc., if I go by only the IGR data, last year the registrations of homes in Mumbai region were about 67 odd thousand units. And this year, as we are closing the year, we are already doing about 64 plus thousand units. So which means that last month, and since your focus is last quarter and last month, ever since the stamp duty cuts were declared, the raise in the registration has been absolutely stupendous. It's fabulous. We could never expect such kind of sales. And that is the number that you're talking about. If I could talk about almost about 19,000 units in the month of December alone, that is something which is taking the annual number in perspective, almost about touching what we did last year in terms of registration of housing units.
Okay, so Gulam, you said 19,000 units, right? Can you break that up for us in terms of where the registrations have been highest between affordable, mid-income housing, luxury segment, which is the space that's seeing maximum registrations?
Well, it is all equally spread. I was looking at the data 2 days back. The latest analysis is yet to come because the data has been closing as we talk about. And as I understand, people are making a beeline out of IGR offices because today is the last day. And I expect today also the numbers would go up much higher than yesterday. We've been recording almost 1,000 plus units a day for last 3 days, which have been about 500 odd for the whole month. The average of month for the December has been 550 units a day. But last 3 days, we've been watching over 1,000 units registration. Yesterday itself, we had almost 1,100 units registration. So we are expecting the B lines to just run longer today. So when it closes, we'll get a better analysis. But then just to give the answer to your question, it is pretty well spread. While the biggest surprise for us was the luxury units, because the luxury housing segment was in kind of almost dead for last almost about 5 years. But suddenly last 3 years we have seen surprising rise in luxury sales as well on IGR data. And hence, we're saying that it is pretty well spread right from South Mumbai to Vasai Virar or Thane, Dombivli region. We've been watching huge number of sales.
Okay.
And that is actually putting the spread all over the city in almost equal terms.
Okay. Gulam, a couple of other questions for you. Price. Would the median price have dipped a bit?
Yes, it is. As we were watching for last quarter, when we're looking at the registration data of the last quarter, ever since the stamp duties have been reduced, there is an evident drop in prices as well, which is not too much, but then 3 to 4% of price drop has also been noticed in the equal period that we're talking about. So which makes it on one side, you have 3% reduction in stamp duty, another 3 to 4% reduction in the prices. So net, you would have in last quarter, the benefit to the buyers to the tune of about 6 to 7%.
What's your sense about the coming quarter? You know, the stamp duty stamp duty cut gets reduced to 2%. Will that, be a dampener, or do you think the wheel has started moving and therefore it could only get better in 2021?
Well, to go back to what I said, that we've been watching beelines of people waiting to get their documents registered in these IGR offices, and which is only expected to prolong further today. So we are expecting people to get the best out of the benefits, which is ending today as we speak. So question is whether after this 3% cut is reduced or pulled out altogether, would we have the same pace of transaction? I don't want to believe so. It is obviously because of that big benefit which is coming to the buyer's way that the people are jumping for getting their documents registered, because same kind of activity is not seen in any other municipality or any other urban local body. Talk about Bengaluru, talk about any of those NCR cities or Chennai, Hyderabad, Pune. Pune still is doing better. But then except for Maharashtra, nowhere else have we seen stamp duty cuts coming along. So we want to believe that stamp duty cut has been the major reason for this boost that we are experiencing, and hence tomorrow, when the stamp duty cut is reduced, would we have the equal pace of registration or equal sales happening? I don't want to believe so, but then we are still feeling that the momentum will be better than what it was, say, about 3 months back when the stamp duty registration cuts were declared.
Okay, I just have one final question, Gulam. Are you seeing a market share shift from the unorganized to the organized players? I mean, are you seeing more amount of traction with these, you know, the Oberois, the Godrej Properties of the world? Or is there still a lot of the unorganized market seeing buying?
Not really, not really. Look at it this way. If I'm talking about 64 odd thousand units sold so far in this year, in this calendar year, obviously these are not the numbers which the organized players can push in as their inventory. So I would still believe that it's pretty a small share of the organized players. It is still spread all over in mid to low end of the developers. But I would definitely say that the opportunities are rising, because on one side, while the concerns on the completions, etc., have been taken over by the RERA, the regulator has been doing a great job. But on the other side, the brand image of the organized players is only shot up. So we are expecting that the benefit will accrue to the organized developers more than the rest. The question was, in this period when the sales were shooting up, did they have enough inventory in the market? And that is where the concern is. They didn't have enough inventory. So going forward, if they're shooting up, they're bringing out more inventory, I'm sure they'll have huge benefits coming out to them.
Okay. Well, thanks, Gulam, for taking
Pleasure.
our unscheduled call, and have a great 2021.
Thank you so much. Wish you all the same.
Thank you. Okay, so real estate, it's largely a stamp duty cut engineered buying rush. And we will have to wait and see whether it will prevail after March 31st,